Today we're going to be reviewing Adventures of the Soul, Journeys Through the Physical and Spiritual Dimensions by James Van Praagh. Here's the book. And hopefully the lighting is back to normal. And this book was very, very similar to Between Death and Life by Dolores Cannon, but it's very different in the sense that the author is a medium, and the book is basically him saying his own beliefs and also like the truths that he knows about the spirit world and just our souls and energy as a whole. And he includes some examples of just like paranormal stuff that is just like completely amazing. It's just like so cool. Nothing was scary. It was just all really, really cool stuff. And so as per usual, I just have my notes. I'm gonna read what notes I took down. Everything I write in my notes is from the book. It's none of my stuff. It's just all stuff that I felt the need to share with you guys, because I know some people don't want to, read a whole book and dedicate their time to do that and just watch a quick video summing up like the highlights of the book. But this is the stuff that spoke to me the most, and hopefully it does to you too. So Earth is a schoolroom and the soul is a student. We are all the same energy, but Earth provides us with so many different physical guises that sometimes it's difficult to acknowledge that truth. Don't think of yourself as a body that has a soul, but rather as spirit that needs a body. To me, God is an energy and I am made of it. I am not separate from God, and neither is anything you see. You can be a well-read spiritual scholar, but unless you apply the concepts of love and compassion and empathy into your daily life, all that book learning is for naught. Religion is a man-made, organized belief system consisting of various creeds, teachings, rituals, and documents, and usually, but not always, revolves around a deity of some kind. If people follow a specific belief system, it is their conviction that this is how they will receive a greater position on the other side. In contrast, spirituality is the very personal search to find greater meaning in life and one's existence in this world. It doesn't have to involve rituals or written words, and may encompass having a love for a divine source or God and learning to use this all-encompassing energy in every situation. In being spiritual, you have a respect and love for self and an understanding of your connection to others. Energy never dies, but it can change form. Quantum mechanics and spirituality will eventually meet, and everything we've known about spirituality will be validated on a physical level. The trouble that science and spirituality have in reaching common ground is seemingly one of semantics. When one person says the word God, another person may automatically tune out, thinking that is the Old Testament God. It would be great if we could agree on a word that means the energy of everything, a benevolent force that doesn't have the connotations of an overseer or a deity. It's difficult for us humans to lend credence to the idea that a thought is a real thing because we are unable to see it. But we know that there are many waves darting through the air, such as sound waves, microwaves, radio waves. We take for granted that they exist even though we don't see them. Thoughts are creative energy. The experience you're living right now is a sum total of all the thoughts you've ever had. This is the reality you've created for yourself based upon your thoughts. Some of these you remember and some you don't. It's not possible to think one thing and live another. If you want harmony in your life, you must have harmony in your thoughts. If you send the message out to the universe that there is lack, the universe will make sure that lack is amplified. Whatever your focus is, the universe will provide. God says yes, the ego says no. Think positively, because positive thinking is more in alignment with your soul. Negative thinking will bring confusion and bitterness. Remind yourself several times a day to bring your mind to a positive place and send that positivity out. One of the classes taught at the Institute that intrigues me is called Lifeline. I first learned of it while watching a TV show on the Bio channel called The Unexplained. Human subjects are taught to not only travel outside of their physical bodies, but also guide disincarnates that have exited physical existence and have not made the complete transition to the astral dimension. The theory works on the premise that some lost souls vibrate at such a slow rate that they're not able to see spirit helpers who are vibrating much faster, who are there to chaperone them. It takes a human having an out-of-body experience at a slower vibration to help guide the trapped spirit to the light. It is also called soul rescue. Our perception of reality is unfortunately filtered through our ego selves. We become lost and judge everything based on just 5 senses. When we look at the world around us, it may be our eyes that are viewing everything and our ears that are hearing everything, but it is our souls that are recording, memorizing, and cataloging each experience. One of the author's friends, her name was Debbie, and she had passed away. Before her passing, she had said to him telepathically, "For years I have been so concerned about teaching people how to live that now I don't even know how to die." And the morning after she passed away, she contacted the author in his mind, because they're friends, and said to him, so this is already her passed away, she said to him in his mind, "I cannot believe how obsessed I was about my body. What was I thinking? How crazy. Tell everyone not to be so involved in physical things. It makes it harder to let go at the end. Tell everyone that as a soul, you are part of the oneness of the wholeness." Buddha once said, "Believe nothing, no matter where you read it or who said it, no matter if I have said it, unless it agrees with your own reason and your own common sense." Just as the earth is composed of many countries, the spirit world is composed of many levels. These worlds within worlds are energetic levels and not in a specific location. The spirit world or heaven is not up, it's interdimensional. Everything occupies the same space, but the energy vibrates at different rates, and each level is a solid, real world to those beings that are in it. You create your own existence in the astral world with what you created in your heart during your soul's, I don't know how to pronounce this word, sojourn, sojourn in the earthly world. I don't know, I've never heard that word, so I don't know how to pronounce it. I probably completely botched it, but it's okay. If you lived a life of closed-mindedness, intolerance, hate, and judgment, that's what you'll have to face in yourself when you pass into the world of spirit. Some people might call it hell, but it's said in the Bible, "Whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap." Your thoughts and words and deeds do have consequences. So the author mentions that an outpouring of prayers and affection from humans on earth will raise your soul to a level of the astral plane that is very high. This goes for, like, let's say you're at a funeral and like everyone's like praying for you and your soul, and that praying that you go to like heaven or whatever. All that prayer is helping you ascend to higher and higher levels in the astral plane. Random acts of kindness, such as a smile to a stranger, carry more weight than attending church every Sunday out of obligation. You can literally change the energy field around you by keeping your thoughts high-minded and only attract those who gravitate toward the higher vibration. Remember that like attracts like, So when you bring that energy into your life, only good things can happen, and what you reap may arise from something you had no conscious awareness of sowing. People often ask me if, upon death, they can be greeted by their loved ones who are no longer in the astral world but have either reincarnated back to the physical or moved on to the ethereal world. The answer is yes. Putting a limitation on what a soul can do, where it can manifest, or how it can divide its consciousness is just us humans looking at things from our three-dimensional mindset. The soul is not controlled by our perception of space or time. A quote from Wayne Dyer: "How people treat you is their karma. How you react is yours." Following the path of love is always your soul's true desire. As souls, we are infinite beings with unlimited potential who inhabit a physical body on the earth to learn lessons about creating love. A quote from Helen Keller: "The unselfish effort to bring cheer to others will be the beginning of a happier life for ourselves." Intimate connections between two souls who are drawn to each other and share their lives as partners or a married couple are brought together because each one has an aspect of his or her soul makeup that the other partner might need to learn from. So James, the author, had this section of just recurring challenges that his students have acknowledged as repeating themes in their own lives. So he lists the challenges with the possible soul lesson for those challenges, and I'm going to briefly talk about a few. So soul challenge, abuse. The lesson is you cannot control what happens to you as a child, but you do have the power to release the anger and feelings of betrayal. The karmic cycle of abuse is one of the strongest there is, and you must learn to break it with forgiveness and understanding. The challenge is failure. The lesson is mistakes are the best way to understand your strengths and weaknesses, but they will bear fruit only if you acknowledge them and view them as opportunities to learn instead of defeats. The challenge is judgment. The lesson is everything you see is made of the energy of spirit. When you judge something, you are judging yourself. Everyone and all events you encounter on your path are here for a reason. Learn to not label them as good or bad, they just are. You are connected to everything. Okay, so we're done with the challenges. You are connected to everything, and the creative power of the universe is you. Never feel separate from it. You have the choice of how you want to live today. You are not defined by your past or by things that may have happened to you in the past. Without those experiences, you wouldn't be who you are today. Sometimes you can have what is in front of you if you're not willing to let go of what's behind you. One of the indications that you're following your soul's path and not living a life based in fear is when everything seems easy. When life is full of coincidences and synchronicities instead of obstructions and roadblocks, then you know you're on the right track. I often assume that people will behave in the same way I do, but you know what happens when you assume? You make an ass of you and me. That's funnier spelled out, but I thought that was really funny. Okay, so so that's the end of the book, but I wanted to briefly mention that I just saw the other day the movie Before I Fall, and tell me why I was sobbing like towards the end of the movie. Like, oh my gosh, just like movies like that, it just like hits me so hard for some reason. Like, I'm a good person and all, but like it's just like certain things makes you want to be even more of a better person, and makes you even like feel bad in the sense of if you're ever not good because of the effect that it could have on someone. And oh my god, that movie was just really a lot to take in, and for a lot of people they're gonna think it's just like dumb or stupid or whatever, but I thought it was really profound. And one of my favorite quotes from the movie is, For the first time when I wake up, I'm not scared or confused or angry, because for the first time, I truly understand what needs to happen. I think the movie is very symbolic and similar to reincarnation. And basically, if you've seen the movie, if you've noticed, she's just trying, yeah, she gets involved at some point very negatively and just does not care, which is completely normal because we both have light and dark in us. So I would expect that she would want to do that too. Heck, I would probably want to do that too and just rebel at some point, since she was going to live the same day over and over again anyways, and what happened previous was going to just be wiped out. But I think it's very similar to reincarnation, and in how every life that we keep reincarnating, especially if it's an earth, and if you're like stuck in the wheel of reincarnation, you're trying to clear out karma, you're trying to relive this karma because you fucked up in these lives or whatever. I think it's very symbolic to reincarnation, and that's kind of how I interpret it. And I also interpret it to just be a better person in general, because it honestly does not take a lot of work to be nice. But with that, be nice to everyone and have a heart filled with so much love and light.